Hello everyone. In this class, we are going to learn how to determine the QRS axis. Why it is important? It is important because the deviation of QRS axis is usually associated with certain pathological conditions. So from diagnostic point of view, it is very important. To learn how to determine the QRS axis, we need to remember the following important things. We need to remember that lead 1 is perpendicular to lead AVF. Lead 2 is perpendicular to lead AVL and lead 3 is perpendicular to lead AVR. Now the normal QRS axis is in between minus 30 to plus 90 degree. If the QRS axis is in between minus 30 to minus 90, it is known as left axis deviation. If the axis is in between plus 90 to plus minus 180, it is known as right axis deviation. And if the axis is in between minus 90 to plus minus 180, it is known as extreme axis deviation. This is also known as northwest axis. Now regarding the common causes of axis deviation, the commonest cause of left axis deviation is left anterior fascicular block. The other causes could be inferior wall myocardial infarction. If the heart is paced from the apex, and in cases of WPW syndrome, specifically where the bypass tract is right lateral or right posteroseptal tract. The causes of right axis deviations are pulmonary embolism. In cases of enteroseptal MI, in cases of WPW syndrome where the bypass tract is specifically left lateral or left posteroseptal tract. These are few common causes of axis deviation. Now for the determination of QRS axis, we need to remember this following diagram. This is also known as hexaaxial reference system. And this is a combination of two triaxial reference system. So what we have to do is that we have to find out a lead where there is biphasic QRS complex. Suppose for example we have taken an ECG where there is biphasic QRS complex in lead AVL. That means that the direction of QRS axis is perpendicular to lead AVL. Okay, we have got the biphasic QRS complex in lead AVL. Now as we know that the lead which is perpendicular to lead AVL is lead 2, we should be looking at lead 2. And if we find out the QRS complex in lead 2 is predominantly positive, that means the QRS axis direction is towards the positive end of lead 2. And from this diagram, we know that the positive end of lead 2 represents plus 60 degree. So in this particular ECG, the QRS axis will be plus 60 degree. Okay. Fine. One more example we can take. Suppose we have taken an ECG and we found that in lead 1 there is biphasic QRS complex. Okay. Biphasic QRS in lead 1. That means the direction of QRS axis is perpendicular to lead 1. And we already know that lead AVF is perpendicular to lead 1. So what we have to do is that we have to look at the QRS complex in lead AVF. And suppose if the QRS complex is predominantly negative in lead AVF, we know that the direction of QRS axis is towards the negative end of lead AVF. And the negative end of lead AVF represents minus 90 degree. So in this particular ECG, the QRS axis will be minus 90 degree. Okay, and this is how we can determine the QRS axis very easily.